move on. Let's look at the next one right here. She's a 27-year-old female. The guy is 37. I, 27 female, have fallen out of love with my husband, 37 male. We have 3 kids, and I don't know how to move forward. Quite the doozy. That one is indeed quite the doozy right there. I've been married to my husband for several years. We have 3 kids, and I work from home, sometimes outside for projects, while also taking care of the house, kids, and pets. My husband also works from home, but he is always busy with work. For the past year, I have been asking him to give more time and attention to me and our relationship, which is big. This is big. I've also asked him to spend more time with our kids, another big one. This one is actually even bigger, I'd say. His response has been that if he spends time with the kids, that means less time with me. I've told him many times that I'd rather he build a good relationship with our children, but it doesn't change anything. So it's not like she's not communicating right here, fellas. She is definitely communicating. He says he has to work because it's what needs to be done. Needs to be done for our finances. And also to cover his bills that are outside of me, the kids and the house. I understand financial responsibilities, at least she's understanding of that, and the guy's not wrong that sometimes you um like bills don't wait for nobody, right? uh was that song from Kendrick Lamar, Father Time, where Kendrick Lamar talks about how it's no, yeah, Father Time, and how he has daddy issues, right? And Kendrick Lamar says that the dad's mom died, and then he asked him why he's going back to work so soon, and the dad replied, "Son, that's life, and these bills ain't got no silver spoon." Right? Like, yeah, I mean that's life sometimes, brother. You just gotta work, and I get this also as a man. I understand this, especially if you're the primary breadwinner, which I don't know if that's the case. They both work, but I'm inclined to believe so. Cover his bills that are outside of me, the kids, and the house. So I'm not saying that she's not providing. She's obviously providing because she works, right? And she's also doing motherly duties, right? Um, I understand financial responsibility, but it feels like work and outside obligations always come before us. And again, this is one of those guys that I feel too many guys often get caught up in the whole I gotta be the breadwinner, I gotta be the breadwinner, I gotta be, yes, bring money home, right? But you have to spend time to nurture a relationship, right? Especially if there's kids involved, brother, you know? I've even brought up separation a few times, and each time he says he'll try to give our relationship more attention, but nothing ever changes. At this point, I feel like I've heard promises for a year and seen no real effort. The truth is, I've fallen completely out of love. This is big, fellas, right here. I've fallen completely out of love. I feel like I'm living as a single parent while still being married. Tough. I don't believe we can rebuild this anymore. This is tough. Mind you, she's still young, but this, I want you to pay attention to this, fellas. We have 3 kids. Where is this? Now I'm preparing myself for separation, but I feel scared and overwhelmed. I don't know how to start the conversation without it blowing up, and I worry about the impact on our kids. I really do. I really appreciate advice from people who have been through this. How do you know when it's really time to leave? How do you prepare emotionally, financially, and legally when kids are involved? These are very good questions. And how do you start the talk in a way that is respectful but firm? I like that she said this, respectful but firm. I mean, when a decision is made, it's made, right? But oftentimes, fellas, though, when a woman is out of love with you, it's something that's happened, as she said, this has been going on for a year at least, right? Promises for over a year. When a woman falls out of love with you, it's not one day to the next. It's a gradual process. It's like, like the water drop hitting a cup till the cup finally cracks. Right now, it looks like the cup is cracking. Did it break completely? I don't know, but it's definitely cracking. I don't want to hurt him, but I'd also want to keep living. But I don't want to hurt him, but I also don't want to keep living in a marriage where my kids and I come second to everything else. Also, yes, we've tried counseling for a year before I started begging him to pay attention to our relationship. Too long didn't read. I 27 female, yada yada. We got this, right? So, what are the bullet points here? She's still young, but she has 3 kids. They have 3 kids together. They work from home. She's communicated. She's communicated with him, right? For husband for several years, by the way. But she's communicated this to him for a while already. They've been married for years, however. I I don't think the first solution should always be looking for an out in a relationship, right? Both ways, right? But especially as a woman, I think it's going to be more harder for her to move on if there's kids in the picture. And in this case, there's 3 children. Um, don't buy into the hype that that women with kids won't have a hard time in the dating market. They definitely will. They definitely will have a hard time in the dating market. I recall a situation where I tried to date a single mother, right? And it was not the ideal, right? I remember that used to be a hard no for me. Then I met this one girl, and I tried it for a little bit. Luckily, it didn't work out, right? I'm thankful for that. But that was definitely a big hurdle. Her children too. So if she were to break up, and that's not to say that that's her goal right now, which I don't believe it's her goal of jumping into another relationship, right? But she's obviously lacking right here the the caring, nurturing side that a man can offer a woman at times. And it looks like that's what she's lacking in this relationship right here. I don't think this marriage is unsalvageable. I would not recommend immediately going for a divorce. I know they've tried counseling, but I also don't like bringing other people into my relationship, especially when she's telling you clear and to the point what the situation is. You're not giving this relationship or the kids time that it's worth, right? You've been at it for years, right? I say, this is my honest advice. I would say give it another year. Give it another year. And if things do not change for the better, then you should start looking for an out. In the meantime of that year, I would say you should start answering some of these questions for yourself. How do I know when it's really time to leave? This right here to me shows that she's still unsure about whether it's time to leave. However, she's out of love. She's out of love, which is a big thing. So how do you know when it's really time to move on? That's a question that she needs to answer for herself. How do you prepare emotionally, financially, and legally when kids are involved? How do you start the talk? I'd say these are the orders in which you need to do these things. First, find out whether or not it's time to leave. Then have the talk. And then you start preparing yourself, right? And I would say this because to me, once you get to this stage, then that's it. If you have the talk, to me, I think that's still it's kind of like when you play Borderlands and you're crossing into the side of the map where it's the dead space and the turrets start hitting you. So they're giving you the warnings, right? This to me would be like that. If I'm a man and my woman gives me this talk, then I know it's serious, right? I would consider all the other ones, and I get it because that's how us men are. All these other, oh, hey, I might leave. Yeah, I get it. It's bullshit. That's how we look at it sometimes. It's bullshit. This woman's just talking shit. That's how we look at it sometimes, unfortunately, right? And it's one of those where the guy may realize, you don't know, you don't know a good thing that you have until it's gone. I've lost a good woman before, right? So I think this guy is going to be in for a rude awakening if he lets it get to this stage right here. Because it looks like she's borderline close to this stage. She's still on this stage, but it looks like she's not too far off from this stage. Because right here, as she said, she's still scared for financial stability, as she should be, because she's a single mother of 3 kids, or she's soon to be a single mother of 3 kids. But once it gets to this stage, again, it's just that's pretty much to me the ending of the relationship already. Although she's already said she's out of love, I don't think you can't reignite it. Do you get what I'm saying? I do think that it is reignitable, the affection and attraction you have towards each other. But it really is, unfortunately, it's not going to be up to her right now on whether the guy changes or not. It's going to be entirely him. Oh, there's an ad right here. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to stop talking until the ad finishes. Okay. How long is this ad? Okay, the ad is done. So yes, guys, I think this is a lot tougher than, for example, this one. See, this is easy. This is easy. Like I said, either party could walk away from this one willy nilly. Like I said, only 3 months, etc., etc. Shit, 3 months, brother. Like, come on, man. This one is a lot harder. You know, they've been married for years. They have 3 children, and I would assume they're young children, given her age, right? Um, yeah, my advice to her would be like really ask yourself, is it in the best interest of you and the children to leave right now? Sometimes it's gonna sound fucked up, guys, but sometimes fuck love, right? Sometimes it's not about love. Once you bring kids into the picture, it's not just about you. It's the kids too, which she stresses right here that she wants the kids to have a relationship with the father. And I'm not one to say stay in an unhappy relationship, but when you bring children into the picture, it's a little bit more muddied water. You know what I mean? Um, their interests come before yours and his. Um, you really need to ask yourself this, like, when is it really time to leave? And when you decide it's time to leave, I'd say start preparing, but have this talk first. You know, this to me is the point of no return. Once you start preparing, especially this one legally. See, right now you could still prepare financially and emotionally, right? But the legal aspect of it, I mean, once you get to that aspect right there, then you're involving the government. It's already, you know, depending on what state you live in, who's gonna get custody of the children, if it's gonna be split, is it gonna be, you know, partial? Um, but yeah, I think this one is a lot tougher than the other one, but I'd say really ground yourself on what's best for the children and when is it time to really leave. I also don't think it's going to be up to you anymore if what you're looking for, like when you get married, right? For better or for worse. This sounds like it's the for worse part. And for worse, just because he's negligible in some aspects of the relationship, which is giving you attention, giving the kids attention, right? And this is her perspective, though. We don't know the guy's perspective. We don't know what's on his mind, right? And it could be for the worse or it could be for the better on his side, right? We don't know their financial situation. He may be busting his ass off, working 70, 80 hours a week to try to put food on the table. We don't fucking know. But this right here, really ask yourself. And if he's not doing those 80 hours a week, 70 hours a week, and even then I would still give time to my woman and especially my children. But if he's not putting in that time for the relationship, it's again, you're not going to be able to change him. Don't ever think you could change a man. Just like a man, don't ever think you could change a woman. All right, that's like a guy going to the strip club and thinking, oh yeah, hey, I can change her, I can save her. No, you fucking can't, you dumbass. Like what? You can't. So yeah, this one right here, it's a lot tougher, but I'd say stick it out another year, right? If you've already been married for years, this is the for worse part. Stick it out for another year, see if things improve, and make an active effort to improve them, right? And this is gonna sound this might turn some women off, right? But you also have to make yourself desirable. And I'm not just talking in a sexual aspect right here. I'm talking about in a likable aspect right here, right? Like there's that joke by Patrice O'Neill, right? Like I don't ever want to hang out with my girlfriend, right? Where he's like, he's never with his group of guy friends and he never really says like, damn, we're having such a great time. You know what will make this shit better if my girl was here? And that's the truth, right? That's something that we like to spend time with her by ourselves from time to time. And it sounds unfortunate, right? But it's the truth. Like when he says that we just want you there, like somewhere around, it's kind of like, I see this with dogs, right? With with how guys are with their dogs that are pets and how women are with the dogs that are pets. I've noticed more women are more doting over their dog, or more on top of their dog, or more have that more like uh oogie woogie cuddly wuddly type of relationship with their dog, when guys are just more like, oh, let's play, let's have a good time, and then that's it, go fuck off, go do what you do, let me go do what I do, right? And I think that's how it sounds fucked up, but I think that's how we are also with relationships sometimes. Like we prefer quality time over quantity of time, right? So when I say make yourself more desirable, I say make yourself a more enjoyable person to be around, right? Because if you're, and again, mind you, this is me, right? Let's just throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Who's to say that he doesn't find you bearable? Who's to say that he finds you unbearable at times? If you're constantly nagging and nagging and nagging. Again, I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but who's to say that that's how he feels, right? Again, everyone's reality is their own, right? I mean, again, there's an objective reality, but there's also those interpersonal things that we feel inside in our given world, right? Because again, you, the viewer, your life is about you, your family, your friends, your relationships, etc. These people's relationship is about their life, their people, their relationship, etc., etc., just like mine is my own. So if he does not find you an enjoyable or pleasant person to be around, why would he want to be around you, right? So that's my advice. Take this year to do everything in your power to salvage this relationship. Make yourself an enjoyable person. Make yourself as attractive as possible, right? Everything is possible, right? And I don't just mean physically, but physically as well. Now, here's the thing, right? Just like a guy, the same thing. If a guy was overweight and he was going through this, I would say the same thing. Make yourself an enjoyable motherfucker to be around. Get yourself in fucking shape, right? Because regardless, if this doesn't work out with this person, you're only building your self-worth for the next person with whom will have a better fit, if it happens, right? So that's my advice here. Take a year, do everything in your power to salvage the relationship, make yourself more desirable and more charming, more likable. And if that doesn't work, then yes, do all these steps. Ask yourself this question first, then have this talk. Prepare financially and emotionally. Although this is a double-edged sword, if you prepare yourself emotionally right now and financially, you may already have convinced yourself that this relationship is already over and it may not work, right? Again, we don't know the guy's perspective. We don't know what he's going through. We don't. Shit, his mom could be dying, whatever the fuck, right? We don't know what he's going through right now. We only know the woman's perspective, but she's bringing up very divorce-worthy reasons, right? Which are, you're not giving me enough time, or the children, which to me, that's the biggest one. If you're a father, be a fucking father figure to your children, right? That's part of being a man, right? You're supposed to, right? It takes a village to raise children, right? But you are the chieftain, right? You're the leader of you're the head of the household. You're supposed to lead by example to your children. If you have boys, teach them how to be men. If you have daughters, teach them how great a man can be to a woman, right? You're supposed to set the example, because your children are going to view this. Your children are going to view and base their future relationships on your relationship. So that's how I see that right there. Take a year to make this relationship, try to salvage this relationship. No, it doesn't fall on you. It's going to fall on this guy. And if he's too stubborn, and if it doesn't work out, then oh well, you know. He may lose out on a great woman, and this is assuming that she's a great woman. I don't know, but this is regardless, you're missing out on the mother of your children, right? And also know that when you go out into the dating market, you're gonna be 28 with 3 children. So do know that as well, right? It doesn't matter if you're 25, 24. Point is 3 children. That's, for lack of a better term, that's baggage. Those are mouths to feed. Those are people that you're bringing into the relationship, right? As a man, as a single man, right? That's heterosexual. I love women. If I find a woman that I enjoy, that I like, but she has children, that is a big, big deterrent. Is that necessarily a deal breaker to me? No. But is it a deterrent? Yes. Is it a hard obstacle to overcome? Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Is it a deal breaker? No. But it is a very, very big obstacle to overcome. So I do want that to be something that our fellow lady here understands. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab a cup of water.